That's not fair. Benny walks by, whoop whoop, nothing. Artie Pants walks by, whoop whoop. You get the riot act, Artie Pants. What's up with that, Artie Pants? Shake it off, Artie Pants. You made an old lady too. Everybody's getting crabby old, goofy old bastards. A whole lot of you, my turd herd, poop troop. She's gonna be nice about it. She said I'm not in the mood. I gotta keep everything on ice. Keep you guys on ice. So you're not crabby? How you doing, Ma? You thirsty? Drink all that. You like the lights? They're jolly. They're jovial. Uplifting. All right. Huh? It's chilly. I'm gonna go find my t-shirt. Alright. Talk about some stuff. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I just want to sleep all the time. I do. I want to spend every waking hour asleep. I do not want to. I'm like a cub in a cave, man. I'm all, I was thinking about it today every time I go out and I let the dogs out early and I feel how brisk it is, how chilly it is. I'm like, oh man, winter is just right. It's going to be right here. Winter's just, it's going to smack. People are going to be playing too much and they didn't do the freaking, with the ant. What was it? The ant and the grasshopper? Where the grasshopper told the ant, or I can't remember how the story goes, because there's a few different, there's so many different stories and they all say the same thing, is that you don't stop, don't become idle, don't become complacent, keep working, and the work won't pile up. The world isn't like that anymore, and now everybody is playing. Oh, they did something for 20 minutes. They got to take a 3-week vacation to recharge their batteries. The imbalance has gotten so far off because everybody is about money and materialistic shit and buying, consumerism, all that. And I think that ideology that supports that system has died a long time ago. Like now, I don't know, especially since everybody claims to be an empath these days, then it's not just me. But whenever I see, the cracks of society are so wide at this point that it's just weird that people are spending 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, 6 figures on a car that sits in a garage most of the time, you know? People buy things and they buy things so that people have an impression about who they are, not based on their behavior or their level of integrity or anything like that. So it's just like it's a masquerade, it's a facade to try and get people to think that there's some kind of way because they've known people that in their life that had these labels and they found these qualities redeeming in these people, this likeness. So they say, hey, I want to be like them, right? I'm gonna drive a Corvette or a big stupid truck or whatever that my financial energy can't sustain, my monetary energy can't sustain. After long durations of time, it can for a little bit, but nobody can sustain that rock style lifestyle. And who the fuck would want to when so many people just don't have socks and shit, you know? People don't have roofs over their head. People, like, I'm grateful that I got the few pictures that we have from when I was young, because there's a lot of people on this planet, there's like no record of who they are or who they've ever been, because they're throwaway people. I've been throwaway person. I've been that throwaway person. What about the throwaway people? The people that don't have cell phones and stuff like that to get through to the people that sit at a desk behind a computer. They have a phone, probably a VoIP phone, VoIP phone, programmed by the IT department with their extension. All the while, people that need help can't get through. Oh, it's an outside line. Oh, okay, yeah. It's so sad. I call them all the whole B system, I call it false for profits. And that's what we're seeing. I did see that Taylor Swift did something cool, though. I like Taylor Swift. I went to one of her concerts back in 1989. She puts on a good show. And she just gave all of her truck drivers a $100,000 bonus for driving her crap around for her concerts, for the tour that she's doing. And that's how, and she's leading by example. How many other they don't. People aren't taught to be generous. People are taught to be stingy, and in public they're like, taught to be generous for errors, but they're not taught at home. People are not taught to be generous. I was taught to be generous, huh, Ma? Share what you got. Because we always knew what it was like to have nothing. So when you got something, feels so good, you want that to spread around to other people. Other people have never been without, so it's like they're stingy as fuck. We got the whole planet of people that are just stingy as fuck. I asked somebody for 5 minutes. I said, on Wednesday, I want to have a conversation. Let me know when you have 300 seconds. That's 5 minutes, 300 seconds, that you're not doing 1,000 things. And then, like, it was a busy weekend for what they do, so I took an account and made an allowance. And then it's not a busy day, and it's 2:43 in the afternoon, and I'm not worth 5 minutes. People don't see me. And then I look around and I look at what they're about. They're all about the false for profits. So why would they want to give me? I'm not about that. I'm not about that heart space. And I love when people tell me that that they act like they're not, and then they shun me. It just supports what I already know. Is that fearful people are afraid of everything, and they live in bubbles, and they create existences where they don't have to grow. Dude, people can get a lot in this life without growing at all spiritually. Like, you can do all the fucking meditation all you want, 18 hours a day for 2 weeks, all to find out it's off or not. Because how many other people do this shit, Yet the cracks of society get wider. That is all false for profit, I think about the teachings of JC, Jesus Christ, that guy, that heart space, you know, where he hung out with scumbags and was just trying to get people to be less scumbaggy. That's kind of what I do. You know, wash your feet, you'll feel better about yourself. You know, do something good for yourself, then you'll feel better about yourself. Then you'll want to do better for other people that can't do for themselves. There's a lot of people that are coming up in this world of all ages, whether they're freaking autistic or freaking, you know, a boomer, and they're coming up at the end of the fall, winter of their lives. Doesn't matter what the situation. There's just a lot of people that are going to need aid, not help, and people would be better off if they just helped, you know, helped each other. Everybody's about money and living that best life and like vacations and all that. It's like how many times are my feeds filled up with people doing the same shit, going to the same places? Oh, you're on another beach in New Mexico? You know, and I'm all for people living that best life. But what about that good karma punch card? Like for every 10 trips that you go to New Mexico and you get that, you know, 9th, 15th, 20th floor view because that's what you deserve. When you do that stuff for, like, you know, maybe go off the beaten path and, you know, give a gift of grandiosity that's going to change somebody's life. That's all I'm saying. It's like when that's okay, great, you know, and don't do it in a way that you're going to get a tax write-off or anything like that. Like cash in hand, people's hand, you know. People need ideas how to freaking piss their money away, because you can't take this shit with you, and it's gonna look a lot better in the afterlife if you freaking use this shit to help people. Then explain to all the creators, like, what did you do? You had so much in life, and then people are like, well, I fucking lived that best life. They're like, okay, but we wanted you to have a good life and live this life of abundance so you could share with what you had with other people. So how in what terms did you do that? And they're like, well, I didn't do that. But I went on a lot of vacations. I fucked a lot of people. I ate a lot of food. I did all that stuff I wanted to do. And they're like, okay, well, you didn't learn the lessons of what it is to be a spiritual being having a human experience. So we're going to have you go ahead and go back and live a life. And then we're going to freaking have you live a life in the aspect of somebody that you were really shitty to. And then you're going to see how much just small acts and gestures can impact people's lives in grand ways. Yeah, I look around every day and I see so many people that don't do that. So many that lack the charity in their heart. It's sad. So I have no desire to be a part of any kind of life right now. I'm just hanging out. I really don't even want to be like horizontal, really. I want to just be vertical. Wait, I don't want to be vertical. I want to be horizontal. I always get those two mixed up. I just want to go lay down and chill out and not be be so present in the moment that I don't got to think about nobody else on this planet or nothing else. I don't get to do that. Not a lot. I do sometimes. I have no plans to go into town. I have no desire to be a part of society. I figured out just like people don't want to know me. They don't want to know me. And then I get my feelings hurt because I try. Like I think they're gonna. Like I think something's gonna be different. Because I'll always think, oh, well, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the different thing. And then it usually turns out pretty similar to a place I've been before with somebody that had a different face. It's just the fearful, man. They just, I don't try to get through for the fearful. I'm ooga booga scary lady to fearful people, man. I'm for brave people. I'm for brave people. That's who I'm for. So what else is going on in the world? A whole bunch of BS, man. A whole bunch of nonsense. Everybody's sad about Pee Wee Herman died. It's like, dude, don't you guys remember? Was it 2002? I was newly sober. Dude had fucking kid porn at his house. He's another pervert. Oh, it wasn't me, man. It wasn't me. It's art, man. It's art. It's just art. So they knocked it down to just having obscene art. That's what they got. But, you know, a pervert's a pervert's a pervert. Art. Anything resembling to child pornography, that's not fucking art, dude. It's not art. And people if they're expressing themselves like that, you might want to look at their gadgets, their external hard drives, all that stuff, man. Oh, there's so much nasty on the planet. It's just, and they can't even hide it. They don't even want to hide it anymore. They're just like, when I was a little girl, how many dudes freaking showed me their freaking, because they just didn't, they don't care, dude. It's like badges of honor, just like how nasty and gross they can be right in front of people. Because people aren't going to question it. They don't question it. They're not going to do anything. Look at Epstein, man. I live in New Mexico. People I know, this kid that I married, he and his wife, he tells stories about the young women that would, when he lived, I think it was in Las Cruces, he was running around up there, and the young girls would come around and go try and find other young girls and be like, hey, you want to make some good fast money, come with us. You gotta go fuck these old dudes, but that's alright, you know. Just close your eyes, pretend like it's a young stud, whatever, you know, disassociate, whatever. So many girls throw themselves away by just fucking and chucking too. It's so sad. It makes me so sad, dude. How people waste themselves, their energy, their life force, just for a freaking good time. And the dude that the girls were recruiting for was Jeffrey Epstein. He had his own ranch here, and all the people here came here, and you know, how come it's just so amazing. I'm ready for people to be terribly and terribly embarrassed. I'm really ready for that. All those people that were on his client list, all those people that have been hidden and protected, they're the fucking scumbags, dude. They're the ones that need to be terribly, terribly embarrassed. But they walk around in $10,000 suits, and they have the taxpayers that pay for their security detail because they're oh so important people. And you got all these people in society that are running around right now that their mentality isn't more than a 12, 13-year-old male or female. I don't fucking care. Take your pick. The dumbing down of society has worked. Like, I listen to people, you know, whether it's like excerpts on the ghost the lady that does the body language whisperer lady, whether she's doing people in the Senate or that's what I'm always doing, my own narration of what people are presenting and what they're actually is happening inside all of their being, based on their astrology, their frame of reference, their psychology, you know, what their diet is, what kind of car what kind of socks I added up all the data up collectively, and I can determine basically how people are going to navigate through their life in any given situation. Because they tell me. Because usually if people aren't going to do something, they are going to do something else. And so if they're going to be selfish and withholding, all the generous stuff, they're not going to do. And then I'll see to what level they'll take it. It's a trip, man. The world doesn't have to be as gross as it is. People keep talking about how wonderful, how beautiful it is. It ain't that great. It ain't that rad. It really isn't. It's a lot of hardships, man. A lot of people are going to suffer, sacrifice, be sacrificed, call it whatever you want. Just because people are so freaking, because people are not generous. So what's going on in the world? A lot of weather, man. A lot of tornadoes. Lincoln, Illinois. A lot of floods. Molly. Flood. China has just been getting hammered by water. Canada, thunderstorm, tornado, St. Louis, volcano, Indonesia, earthquake, 5.5, Japan, thunderstorm, Canada, wildfire in Angola, wildfire, thunderstorm, wildfire. These are just within the last 2 hours. Wildfire northwest of Chusser consequences. That's 2 hours ago. New Mexico. That's one of good old Robert Phoenix's favorite places. Wildfire Arizona. Here we go. Northwest Canada wildfire. Alaska Fairbanks wildfire. And people that see, the thing of it is that wildfire northwest of Silver City, New Mexico. So much water and so much fire. It's trippy. You got all these people that shut the rest of the world out. They're so focused on their life and they're immersed in their life and just how it is here, right? But there's so many people out there that are being affected by shit that people, you can't ignore it, especially if you're an empath, like so many people claim. Like, you can't, being an empath means you can't stand next to somebody and if they feel uncomfortable, that uncomfortability is going to ooze out to you. And you can have all the stones in your pocket and all the chakra meditations and all the, blocky, you know. If you're an empath, that's how it is. It's just, you can't. So let's see what's going on in some of the news. 7 years ago, that was the picture of 2331, my house for sale. 7 years ago, that's when our lives began to change in ways I never thought I never ever. And that's when I stopped planning for things, because when I did plan for things, I could make things happen, and then all of a sudden the script flipped, and that's when we moved to Oregon and shit got really fucking... Well, now we're in New Mexico, so... It's been a long 7 years, huh, Ma? It was 7 years I put the house on the market in Omaha. Are you glad we don't live there no more? Mom's just glad we're together. Glacial break causes major flooding in Alaska. See what else is going on in the world. Good boy, Benny. Calls for prostitutes. I think it's funny because a few years back, when they started all this BS about with the and the all that crap that went along with it, I said, you just watch. I saw all this money that's going for it. That's the sick money, all the sick pay, and all the people are getting paid to just stay home and be sick or just avoid the sick. Just the false for profits in a different way. When all that was happening, I said, watch. I said, give it 6-8 months, and then you start in all the big cities everywhere, all across America. Look at all the freaking big cranes that are going up. And look at the cities that the big cranes never come down. Like, they're always modifying and changing the skyline of the city based on who is in charge and, like, I don't know what shit they watched when they were a kid. Their early childhood programming. I mean, when I lived in Omaha, I worked downtown, and we in the Landmark building where it was 11th and 13th floor, and then it went to just the 11th because they just all consolidated because the company got small, even though it's the third largest company in the world. But they're always refacing and moving and changing and modifying and tearing down, and that's just what they call progress. I call it pro-gross. They call it progress. So, we happy little dogs, huh? Want to say hi, Luna? What you do, Benny? Want to say hi? No, Benny. Want to say hi, Luna? Oh. Say hi, little lady. You want to say hi and give me kisses, please? It's almost time for their dinner. Huh. Benny, come here. Come here. Come here, Benno. Benny, come. He wants to be. Oh, moody man. Benny, come here. Come here. Say hi, Benno. It's how Margie Benny is in a mood. Margie Benny is just in a mood. Oh, Benny got one. Benny Margie. He's a showing off a guy. You goofy old bastard. Well, don't sneeze about it. You're cool, you're cool. Oh, Benny. Mom, Benny's showing off. Oh, Benny. Now Grandma Retta's here. Oh, it's a Grandma Retta. It's a Benny, Benny, Benny. Benny, 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 Benny. Old man. Alright. Wrap it up, because I gotta go do other things. Ugh. He's a goofy. Alright. So the world's just getting goofier. It's getting crazier. We're in a good place, though, Ma. We're in a good place. We got plenty of food. Got some water. Got some goofy dogs. They got some food. They got some water. Just gonna hang out. I've been watching that Reservation Dogs. People yesterday at the park were like, there's a difference between a reservation and a pueblo. I said it's so hard for me to keep track of what fucking words matter to fucking who. You know, because you ask this group, it's this. And if you ask this group, it's that. So it's so hard for me in life to keep track of all the freaking shit that people, the terms that other people want me to refer to their life as. It's freaking stupid. So, alright. False for profits, they're everywhere if you're willing to put all that much money and resource into others without freaking any kind of charity or any kind of freaking acknowledgement to, you know, God, good orderly direction, higher power. You know, people think that they do everything themselves, you know. They don't even give themselves the power. They subdue their own power by the freaking crap that they eat and stuff that they'd rather sit on their ass and watch and do in life rather than participating and making things easier for, you know, everybody, not just themselves. That's what World War III said, the spiritual variety. All you got to do is live for yourself. Ego, easing God out. God, good orderly direction. There's too many people that need socks and don't have food of all ages. Who does the work for them? People don't. I don't see the evidence of that. I've seen the evidence of the byproducts of people getting paid to say we care. That's it.